Uh, Hello, everyone. Thanks for taking time to join the session. So today we will be looking at OSPAT tool, which is an open source power availability tool. Over the next 30 minutes, you can drop in the QA in the chat window as well. And also we will be giving out some time so that we can have Q&A at the end as well. Right. So coming to, let me introduce myself. I am Mithun. I am working at IBM India Private Limited as a software developer. And day in and day out, I have been working at various different roles in software development and as well as a consultant, helping clients to port their software onto IBM Power Platform. And also I have been involved in a couple of performance engagements related to on Power Platform as a whole. And recently, I have been also working on some of the cloud enablement related to OpenShift as well. With that, I would ask Harsha to introduce who is a co-presenter with me today. Harsha.
Hey, thanks, Mithun. Greetings all. My name is Krishna Harsha Vora. I work as a software engineer along with Mithun in the same team. I help clients, especially independent software vendors and business partners, with their journey to the cloud and digital transformation. And we coming from Power Systems, our primary charter is to get them enabled onto IBM Power Systems. With that, I'll hand back over to Mithun.
Yeah, thanks, Harsha. So coming to the agenda, we will see about the introduction. We will see what exactly the OSPAT tool is. And then we will dig deep into the advantages and software stack. We will be giving out an deep overview onto why this tool has been developed and how it has been developed, so that developers and open source on power users will have a good look into the tool and how exactly it has been implemented. We will also look into the architecture overview of OSPAT, and then we will see how the tool could be used and how the results will come back and what actually the tool is doing behind the scenes as well, how exactly it has been implemented and what are the, when we do some activity with the tool and how the requests go into the tool and how the results come back and detailed working as well. At the end, we will also see an hands-on demo, which will give us a sneak peek into what the tool is all about. Right. So coming to the point, what exactly the OSPAT is, right? So OSPAT is an open source power availability tool, which will help users if they are using Power as an architecture and if they want to port a particular software onto Power and see if a package is available on Power, they can go and they can search for a particular package in this particular tool. And it will give out the results on the software package, and they can go, it will give out a link as well where users can go and find more details on the package, on how to download the package and install the package. So it is one of a kind of a tool. Suppose if you are trying to install a software and it has 10 dependencies which needs to be installed, and you are not sure where to go and find those particular software packages, this is one point stop, and it is very handy tool in order to quickly check if a particular software works fine and it is readily available on Power. Right, and OSPAT has been live from 2016, nearly 4 years, and it has been undergoing a lot of improvements based on the end users. Suppose some of the packages needs to be ported, and if something is already available and it is not mentioned in the OSPAT, so we have incorporated all those things into OSPAT over the years. Right. And coming to the advantages, what are the advantages of using OSPAT and why OSPAT? Right. One major thing is it is open for everyone. Suppose if you are on a Power architecture, and if you want to find the particular package, you can just go to this tool. You don't need to do a registration, sign up, or anything of such sort. So it is open for everyone. Anyone who needs information on Power Platform on a particular software package can go and search for a particular software. Right, and it has catered to different distributions. All the Linux open source distributions which are supported on Power, it has information about all the distributions and the software supported on that. Suppose if you want to search a particular package on RHEL or an Ubuntu or SLES or CentOS, you can go and search on this particular tool. It has relevant Docker information as well. Suppose a particular software has enabled Docker images for that particular software, it will give out a link for that particular package as well. So users can go and look at the information on what actually has been done with that particular package. And this is one of a kind of tool on Power Platform, right? So we have taken out all the different sources and all the different softwares which are supported on Power, and we have kept all the information in a single point of source. So so we can look for different packages, and this is a single largest consolidation of all the package related information. And also it is not mandatory that you need to know a complete name of the package. Even if you know a particular part of the package name, you can just key in the part of the package with different string matching categories. It will give out best possible match in the particular for a particular keyword. And so we will see a bit deep. We'll go a bit deep on the implementation. So that will give us a complete overview of how the tool has been implemented and what actually it has been doing. Right? So OSPAT tool uses Elasticsearch, which is based on Apache Lucene search engine, which is again an open source search engine which is implemented using Java. Right. So previously it was using Solar, which is also based on Apache Lucene search engine. It has made use of, we have made use of Java as a programming language. An application which wants to retrieve this information from the Elasticsearch is written in Java. And when we are pushing all this information to Elasticsearch, we have again made use of Java, and we have written those packages in Java. And all this application has been hosted on IBM WebSphere application server. And one more important thing is container technology, right? So containers play an important part in this particular tool, development of the tool and usage of the tool. So as we know, the container is smallest computing unit, which contains all the software which is required to run a particular software, right? So it contains all the packages. So we will, when we go deep into the architecture, we will see how container plays an important part in the OSPAT tool development. Right. Going to the actual architecture of the OSPAT tool itself, we have, like we mentioned about the OSPAT tool. So we have collected all this data from the public repositories. So these public repositories have all the information related to the packages. So we will be running, we have been running different containers. So there will be a container for RHEL, for SLES and Fedora for different versions as well. Suppose if you have RHEL 8, so there will be a container for RHEL 8, there will be a different container for RHEL 7 as well. So what we will do is we will first list out all the different packages which are supported on a particular architecture, and we will consolidate all those into a single flat file. So suppose for Ubuntu 19.10, there will be a single flat file. For Ubuntu 20, there will be a flat file which will be generated, which will contain all the package related information. And also what we have done is, if there is some packages which is ported from our team or IBM as a whole, so we have consolidated all those information. And what we have done is we have written a Java program, a Java batch, which will consume all these flat files, and it will insert all these things into an Elasticsearch engine. So we have Coming to the Elasticsearch engine itself, so we have something called as mapping, which will give the rules on how the data should be inserted into the Elasticsearch engine itself, so that it could be consumed, and you can query there is a particular package, and you can get the information. So as we go more into detail, we will be looking into the mapping as well, which is very important for the implementation and definition of how on and defining the rules on how the information should be inserted into Elasticsearch engine, right? So once the data is there with the Elasticsearch engine, we have been making use of HTTP requests. So we will see more into how actually these requests are done and how the response will be, right? So this is the architecture. We have different containers. A container plays a core technology, and then we have made use of some Java. So containers and Elasticsearch, I can say, are the backbone of this particular tool on how it has been implemented, right? And also what we have done is we have made use of the Jenkins as a part of automation. So what we have done is, instead of collecting manually, going back and defining container for each different version of distribution, and then fetching those information, we have automated that. Every week it will fetch the latest software which is supported on Power Platform for a particular distribution, and that information will be consumed into on different containers, and it will be written into flat files. So once we have that information, what we have done is we'll read that information into a pre-prod or a testing environment, an integration testing environment or a pre-prod, and we have an same replica of OSPAT engine on a pre-prod as well. Once we test for all the packages, the Delta packages which are there, which are newly implemented or being consumed into Elasticsearch engine, and once it works fine, we will be pushing it into production. So we have made use of Jenkins here. So that is bit of automation which we have done so that all this information automatically gets consumed into OSPAT search engine. Right. So coming more into usage of the OSPAT tool. Once we land on an OSPAT tool, we will be landing into something similar to this. And you need to enter name of the package, if you know the name of the package. And then you need to select the distribution which you are looking for. Suppose if you are looking for only for on a Ubuntu based distribution or a RHEL based distribution, you can select that particular distribution and click on search. And once the results are there, you can refine your results. And also you can, once the results are there, you can export to a file onto a CSV file, and you can download the search results as well, right? And also what you can do, suppose if you are on the tool and if you are search for a package and then you want to go back and search for a new package, you have to click on just reset button, which will just reset the entire UI. And then you can search for a different package as well. And one more feature which is very important here is we have enabled something called a search by package category. Suppose if you are working on a particular technology on Power, like blockchain or big data, right? So you can, once you click, you will be, there will be a list of categories which will be there. You can select those categories and search for a particular distribution or all distribution. So it will give out the list of supported packages which are dependent to that particular technology on Power, right? So that is something which we have enabled as well. We will see that in the demo when we go to the actual demo, right? So once we search for the packages, the results will be something similar to this. So you will get the list of packages or software packages which are supported on that particular distro. And also one main thing will be a link to the particular software which will contain all the information on the package, where you can go and see what this package actually does, and then download that particular package. It could be 1 or 2 clicks in order to get the download, right? So it will give out a link for that particular package as well, so that you don't need to go and search for that particular package information, anything outside, right? So coming to the actual implementation itself, right? So when we do a search for a package, there is an HTTPS REST API, which we have implemented into Elasticsearch engine, which will go as a curl request. So we have created something called as index. Elasticsearch requires all the indexes to be created, which is something called as setting, which needs to be there in order to create all this information and load it into Elasticsearch. We can think index as something similar to database in relational data RDBMS. And we need to create something called as type as well, which is similar to a table, I can say, right? We can look into more detail when we create the index and mapping. So this particular deck deals about how the indexes and mapping have been created. So here we have this particular section shows how the initial configuration has been created into Elasticsearch. I have taken an example here. So we have created a curl request. So there is basically a curl which is creating something called as starts with, which is an index name which we are creating. And we have defined something called as analysis. So there can be different analysis tags which will be there when we are creating the indexes. There is an analyzer. We can define multiple analyzers when we are defining, when we are creating the initial configuration, right? And then we have created something called as analyzer starts with, which is an type of analyzer. And we have, so these are main parts. So one thing is tokenizer. So there are different tokenizers in order to arrange your data into Elasticsearch. So here we have taken keywords. So how it will do is it will create indexes based on the different keywords. So since we want to search the data based on the keyword match, we have used tokenizer as keyword. And we have defined something called as filter with this tokenizer, which is a lowercase tokenizer. So what it will do is whenever it is inserting the data into Elasticsearch, everything will be converted into lowercase. So even though the package name is listed as in a capital case and you are searching with the lowercase, there will be a match with that particular package name, right? And the main thing is mapping. The mapping is nothing but here we are. So this part will give the information on analyzer, how the data should be stored and how the keyword should be created and how it should be stored. But what actually we will be storing will be there in the mapping. So the mapping here, we are creating something called as test mapping, which has different properties. So properties are nothing but the fields which we are trying to analyze and see inside the Elasticsearch. So this becomes the main part. So we are storing only one piece of information, which is title. So our search which will go and which will match the title of the package, which is there in the Elasticsearch. And what we have done is we have mapped this particular analyzer into this particular field so that all the titles will be matched based on this particular analyzer. So each keyword will be matched, and irrespective of the case, if there is a match, then the result will be there. And if there is a match, and the results will be displayed in the Elasticsearch as well. Right. Continuing, what exactly we have created. So previously we created analyzer, and then we created mapping, and then when we want to search data, so this is something which we have done on the browser, right? So we are searching the Elasticsearch with that particular index, which starts with, which we created in the last slide, and we are trying to search for a package called as data, right? So it will go and it will see the title field and it will try to match with that particular keyword. So here we have data as a keyword, as a tokenizer. So if there is a match, it will give out all the packages which are matching that particular keyword, right? That is something which will convert into a human readable format, right? So you can instead of browser, you can get it on a command line as well, right? So that is something which we have done here. So one last slide. We are almost done with the indexes. So it will give an overview of how exactly the search has been done. So suppose if you don't know the complete package name, so you know, okay, I remember the package name, it starts with a particular keyword, I think, okay, dr or something like this. You know only part of the package. Suppose if you know, okay, I need OpenJDK, but I don't know exact name of OpenJDK. I know only JDK as a keyword. So you can give that, and you can use any string matching parameter, string matching character, and OSPAT will understand that. So now we are trying to search for a package which starts with this particular dr as the was the word. So it has matched. Okay, we have a package with that particular words which are starting. So that will give the results back. So the only main thing to emphasize here is, even though if you don't know the complete package name, you can always go and search and see if something comes out of the tool, right? So with that, we will go back and switch to the actual demo itself, right? So I'll just say OSPAT in the Google, right? So there will be one which will mention as open source power availability tool with IBM tag. So that's where you need to go, and you will be going to a landing page which will give some information on FAQs on what exactly the OSPAT tool is, and if you want to ask a question, and if you have something you can ask here, and you can go through the facts and how and what actually the OSPAT is doing, right? And you have all the information related to OSPAT or not, or this is the place where you need to go, and what are the limitations of the tool and what are the uses of the tool. You can get all those things here, and then you can click on the launch OSPAT tool, which will take you to the actual tool itself. So you can search. So you will be ending up in this particular page. You can search for a package. So now I am searching for something called as JDK, right? So suppose I'm trying to search on a particular distribution like Ubuntu. So it will, yeah, within some fraction of a second, you will be getting the results. So I have, so all the package names which contains that particular keyword will be listed here. Suppose if I want to, so I have select, so here at the top, you can select distribution as a whole. Suppose if you want to filter out a particular distribution, I want to, okay, I'm interested only on the recent Ubuntu distribution. You can always select that. So it will give out the results only on that particular distribution. And also you can sort on different fields. Suppose if you want to list out the latest version at the top, you can sort on this particular field as well. Okay. And also what you can do is you have a filter section where you can just select for give key in a particular information. Suppose I am giving OpenJDK 11. Okay, let me try for something else. So suppose if I want to search only for OpenJDK 12, I can give and it will filter out. So it will not go back and hit the Elasticsearch again. The results which are there, which will be filtered out, and it will be faster. Suppose if you are looking for something. And also one more thing which we need to mention here is there is something called as search by category. So there are different fields which are there. We have segregated that based on the usability. And suppose if you want to see packages which are supported on big data and analytics on a particular distribution, you can always search for that. And all the categories which are related to big data and analytics will be displayed. And also what you can do is, suppose if you want to take out all the big data analytics related software on Power, you just have to export to a file, and then you can save it in a CSV format, and then take it and consume it or use it at a different location where you want. And so that kind of concludes the demo. So the only thing which we have at the end is there is a tool, there is a video, so you can you can take the tour of the OSPAT. You will get it at the OSPAT tool itself, and also and you can see how what all we can do at on the live demo. I mean, on a video in the YouTube. And also we have mentioned the tool itself in this particular deck. And also if you want to see if some packages needs to be ported on Power, you can always submit a request at this particular link, and our team, the consult team, will look into it on porting and helping them deploy it on Power. Okay, with that, we would like to conclude, and we would like to take any Q&A if we have. Okay, where to get the PPT? I have one Q&A, which is where to get the PPT file of this particular deck. Probably, I think it will be there on the, yeah, Harsha, you know.
Colin, do you know where, how do we provide the PDF files to the broader audience? Okay, it should be available on schedule.
Okay. Okay. Okay, if you have any question, you can raise your hand. We'll just enable so that you can speak and ask the question.
I think we are sorted.
Okay. Cool. Thank you for your time. And you can always post if you have any questions. We will be available on the Slack, on the Open Power Slack community. You can always get back to us on the questions. We will be happy to help and provide more information on OSPAT. Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. Have a good day.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
Have a good day.